Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Volkswagen GLI 40th Anniversary Edition. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Volkswagen here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this GLI. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, you need any help, just ask for Alex. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. Fuel economy is 26 around town and then 36 on the highway, with power outputs being 228 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see really cool body lines. And then popping down below, you guys can see the distinctive headlight design, and then I love all the red accent. You can see some more there at the bottom. But outside of that, everything's pretty much blacked out with the grille. And when you put it all together, the contrast between the gray paint, the red elements, and the blacked out elements looks really sharp. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 225, 45, 18 in the front and over on the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels completely blacked out, and then with the brake caliper, you can see that's red to contrast and match the other elements. And speaking of red, we have our GLI 40 badge there on the side. And you guys can see the mirror caps, the door handles also blacked out. And then here's your full side profile here with the GLI. Now taking a look at the key fob, you guys can see that we've got our lock and unlock function, Volkswagen logo on the back, and it has a nice kind of weighty feel to it. Now when you press the trunk popper function, it actually fully opens the trunk, which is really cool. But yeah, really good cargo space here in the back of the GLI. We also have those little latches right there to throw down the seats so you can get even more storage. And when you're all done, just plop. You guys can see the low profile black spoiler here. And look at the taillights. It's pretty fancy looking. GLI badge there on the other side, and then those exhaust tips look aggressive. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the looks here with the GLI. Now take a look at the door panel here, lots of sharp lines. But anyway, soft touch here, you can rest your arm, and I love the look at the handle, that's really cool looking. And then these seats are also really cool looking. Look at all of the piping and everything. Legroom back here is really good. Notice there's red on the floor mats too. And the headroom's also surprisingly good. Now take a look at the front door panel. You can see soft touch here at the top, and then look at this trim with the red inside of it, and then now you've got all the red stitching. All of our window controls here. We've got our mirror adjustments as well. Door lock and unlock, and then I love the handle here, and then blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Now taking a look at the front seat, again you can see all of the piping and everything, and I love the design here with the seat as well. And then you can see GLI 40, and then fancy looking pedals. We got our light controls here, and then more of this trim. Now taking a look at the steering wheel itself, you guys can see really nice trim here at the top and at the bottom. Got your 40th logo right there. And then I love the perforated texture here on either side. Paddle shifters on the back for the DSG. You can see you've got some controls here for the center. We've got adaptive cruise control as well. And then you got your regular stocks here on the back. Now taking a look at the gauge cluster, full digital gauge cluster here, and we can scroll through to see different bits of info on different systems within the car itself. We can also change what the gauge cluster looks like with the view function, which I don't know, I think that that's kind of a cool part of it. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera here with trajectory lines, and resolution overall is pretty good. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system itself, it is a touchscreen. It seems like overall response time is pretty good. It does take a second for some of the menus to load up, but I mean, I'd say it responds pretty well. Of course, we got our car tab right here. That's cool with all the performance information, kind of adds to the fun. And then we do have some different drive modes. You guys can see eco, comfort, normal, sport, and then our custom mode that we can switch between. Really nice soft touch trim here on the dash, and it actually extends all the way, which is nice. And then you can see with the trim down below, the accenting. Got some vents here. We've got heated seats for the front, dual zone climate as well. And then we do have a wireless phone charging pad. We got some USBs right there. And the stop start button, I think it looks great. And then here's our shifter for the DSG. We've got a 12 volt right next to it, stability control, parking, brake, auto stop start, drive mode select. So that's really nice. Some cup holders, and then this is cool, center console. I think that's really nice. And then it does just lift up. There's no like clicky handle thing. The coloration inside is interesting. It's really light. I guess it makes it so it's easier to see. And then glove box, also pretty solid. And then last but not least, no center for anything like that. But we do have some normal light controls up top. Now taking a look at the window sticker here, you guys can see 2024 Jetta GLI. We've got all of the standard equipment here, got some options, including the color pure gray. Anyways, $30,836 the total MSRP on this. A lot less expensive than the Golf, a lot less. Let's see how it drives. Let's check out the visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, do have blind spot monitoring. Throughout the rest of the rear. Let us set off in the GLI. So yeah, I might have some controversial opinions in today's video because I think that this makes a lot more sense for most people compared to the GTI, right? Obviously GTI and Golf are those things like sell instantly and they're more expensive, especially the GTI. I mean, the GTI similarly equipped to this is like what, $5,000 more expensive. And so yeah, let's kind of talk about that in this video, because this obviously is basically a GTI but just in Jetta skin. It's a good way to look at the GLI. But good torque right off the bat. And the DSG, it's very smooth, but it's got a, you can tell right off the bat it's also quick. So I think that's great. Yeah, so comfortable. I really like the damping with this. I think they've done a great job with that. Steering's pretty good too. It's light, pretty direct. Yeah, torque's great. Looking for the mode button. So I've got in the sport mode now. And then, yeah, so I automatically put the transmission in the S mode. This is what we want. I think it's the first time I've ever gotten a green light there. Lost traction a little bit there. I'm gonna pop into the manual mode. Feel the shifts with the DSG. Interesting, there's a bit of... This doesn't seem as like quick as the Golf. It could just be warming up too though. Do a little bit more driving before I make final judgment on the transmission. But I will say, even in the sport mode, this is very comfortable. Yeah, I think it just needed to warm up. Yeah, I think it just needed to warm up. Because those shifts are a lot quicker than what I was seeing before. Yeah, just needed to warm up. Oh man, that's so fun though. I love this thing. It's just really sharp, and again, it's just like it's fun, just like the Golf. Yeah, that's so good. So to cap things off with the GLI, I think this thing looks cool. It's still practical. Obviously, it doesn't have hatchback practicality, but it's really good, and it drives really well. I think this is actually technically longer than the Golf, but like, it's not a bad. So I think this is technically longer than the Golf, but it's not a bad thing. Like it's actually more comfortable than the Golf because the longer, at least it feels more comfortable. Maybe I'm fooling myself, but it seems that way. But the point I'm trying to make is, I don't feel like you concede anything with the GLI. I think that this has a great driving experience. It's practical, and it's a heck of a lot less expensive than the Golf. And so, and these are easier to get. So like, if you're looking for a deal, which I think people are starting to finally kind of realize that that's what they should be looking for rather than just paying for a name. And I love the Golf, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this is such a bargain compared to the GTI. just with the performance you're getting and everything else. But let me know what you guys think about the GLI, and let me know if you'd rather get this or if you'd still rather get the GTI.